we have so many people who are focused on, oh my God, I'm not good enough because my body doesn't look right. I don't fit in because my body doesn't look right. I can't love myself because my body doesn't look right. And here's the thing, when you don't love your body, it reflects that to you. It has no choice but to reflect that to you. I am a reflection of how much you hate me. I'm a reflection of how much you hate yourself. And I will keep being that until you love yourself. The energy work and overcoming the limiting beliefs, this is where you are able to overcome that victim mindset. And when I say victim mindset, there's no shame or judgment in that. We all have a victim. The victim is the one that says, no, you can't do it. It's not possible. You will never do it. You will never achieve what you want to achieve. The reality is that's not true. And actually, there are things that are happening that nobody thought possible all the time. Welcome to Transformation Embodied, a space where personal evolution meets expanded consciousness. I'm Rosie, a channeler and energy healer, here to walk with you on the path of awakening. Each week, we explore what it means to live in alignment with your soul through stories, insights, and practical tools that bring transformation into your body, your mind, and your everyday life. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's step into the next chapter of your awakening together. People look at manifestation as manifesting partners and jobs and physical things like new car and new job. And it's all very material, right? Talking about how we manipulate the energy to create the reality that we want to experience. And our reality is physical, it's third dimensional. This is our playground, right? Third dimensional playground. Now, what people rarely talk about is the fact that, and it's probably the bridge between quantum healing and manifestation, which, by the way, are the same thing. There's nothing different about them in terms of working with energy. It's a different process, but it's the same thing. So people rarely talk about weight loss. And I'm not sure. Maybe it's because people think that there's something superficial in wanting to lose weight, that there's something non-spiritual in wanting to lose weight or wanting to have a certain kind of body. But, if life is our playground and we are here to play, we're here to experience different things, different dynamics, different friendships, different relationships, different family relationships, different jobs, pursuits, emotions, expressions of ego, identities, all of those things. We're here to experience all of those different things. And essentially, the playground is the playground of identities. We're moving through different identities all the time. If I want that car and that house, what you're buying into, what you're manifesting, what you're creating is an identity. You're not, the things create an identity, which create a quality of vibration. And then you find yourself in the vibration. You go, oh, this is cool. This is fun. Yeah, I did it. I did do it. Okay, now I want to be this person. Now I want that kind of car and that house and my wedding to be like that. And, I want the ultimate partner and all of that kind of stuff, right? So now I'm moving into that. Now I'm changing identity. It's not to do with any of the things. It's not to do with the house or the car or whatever. It's to do with the new identity. So the playground of life is exploring identity. It's exploring the parameters of who you can be, filtering yourself through this ego structure, right? And the ego is not negative. It's not inherently negative. It's everything. If you don't go through the ego structure, you can't be here in physical form. The ego structure is like a series of beliefs that you filter your soul energy through. Your soul blueprint is filtered through all of these beliefs. Once you create your soul contracts and you say, I'm going to explore this theme with these people, these are the souls in this location, in this way. You create belief systems, the way that you look, the way that you carry yourself, the personality that you have, the things you like, you don't like. And, people often say, the evidence for this is that people often say, when you have a baby, somehow they have the same personality as a baby as they do when they're adults. And you look at the difference between a newborn baby and an adult and you think, well, how is that even possible? Because the things a baby can do and express is so minimal And yet somehow they have the same personality. And it's true, they do have the same personality because their personality comes from their ego structure and it is the essence of who they are. You can feel that. You understand them on that level, right? So even as they grow into an adult and they become completely different and they have lots of abilities and they've had lots of experiences and friendships and they talk and they can do math and all those kind of things. Even when they get to that age, they have the same personality somehow. It's the essence of who they are, and you can feel that in them. And that is the blueprint that comes through. That is the chosen personality structure that comes through. So within that personality structure, because that's not changing, that's the core of who we are. That's why it's there from birth. And you could bring in the archetypes and all of that in there as well. Then we shift that through different identities in our reality. And every time we want a different thing, we want to be a different person. It's a playground of identity. Reality is a playground of identity. How can I explore all these different things? And who can I be? And how can I react to that this time? Can I react to it a different way next time? And can I be friends with this kind of person? Can I be friends with that kind of person? Can I be interested in this kind of activity or that kind of activity? Underneath it will be some core foundational attributes that you were born with, but they can be explored in many ways. And so if we treat life in that way, that when we're manifesting, it's really the playground of identity that we're buying into, and we're going down different paths and we're just exploring and we're trying different things, then that's a very relaxed, kind of exciting, joyous way to look at the experience of life, right? And which is the best state to be in if you're manifesting. And so you want to put yourself in that state. You want to feel like it's a playground and I'm playing and I get to do what I want and be anybody I want to be. We look at our body is a very strong aspect of that. And in the same way, there will be fundamental aspects of your body that will not change, just like your personality. There are aspects of your body that will not change, like your height as an adult. It might go down a bit as you age, but it's not going to drastically change. And in order to change it, if you really wanted to change it, you could go through some enormous operation. Most people are not going to do that. But it is possible to change your height. It's just more difficult. It's more of a static thing. Now, your weight and your muscle density, and to some extent your shape, your physique, these are actually things that are pretty easy to change. And so when we look at the playground of life and being the different identities, every time we shift identity, we can become a new body. We can jump into a new body. We want the body that is aligned with the identity that we're playing with. We want a body that supports us in the things that we want to do in the playground of life. We want to feel good in that body. We want to feel comfortable. We want the body to bring us the experiences that we desire. As we step into these different identities and we explore life and the playground of life and who we can be, right? And the trends change all the time, and people are, used to be trendy to be super skinny. Now it's trendy to be a bit more muscly. And then now we've got weight loss, GLP-1s, so people are going back to being super skinny again. You can see that it's a very malleable thing. The body is a very malleable thing. The misconception that we have about the body is that we change the body through the physical realm. To some degree, yes, the same way that we change like if I want my house to be clean, I've either got to pay someone to come in and clean it, or I've got to pick up a sponge or whatever cloth and clean it, right? It's got to be cleaned. And that's a physical action that needs to happen in the physical to do it. But behind that is an energetic motivation. Perhaps if I've been doing lots of other things and I'm completely exhausted, I cannot find the motivation to make it happen. Perhaps I'm so busy that I'm never home, I cannot find the time to do the cleaning that I want to do. And where the energy work comes in is that and the manifestation work is where it aligns you with the outcomes that you desire so that you can make those things happen in your physical reality. And when we look at something that's more personal, like our bodies and our weight and having the bodies that we desire, co-creating the bodies we desire with the universe, it's the same. Yes, there are things I need to do. If I eat 100 pizzas a day, probably not going to lose weight. But the thing behind that is the thing that's motivating that behavior. And it's not just emotional and it's not just mental. Even behind that is energetic. And when you tap into the energetic and you create the shifts there, it feeds into the mental, it feeds into the emotional, and then it is expressed in your physical. And it's a much smoother, more coherent process than trying to do everything in the physical. Because even as you're trying to do things in the physical, you're trying to overcome your mental struggles, your emotional struggles. You're battling with a lot of different elements at one time, and you probably don't understand the dynamics of all of them and where they came from and why you have them and why you can't stick to that diet or whether that diet even suits you. You know, maybe it just doesn't suit you. Maybe that food just doesn't suit you and you need to stop eating it, but you don't know that. And you're not able to go to hundreds of medical appointments to find out whether you got the right nutrition here and whether you need more of that and whether, all of these things. You just need the solutions to arise through the synchronicity of life. And that's the fastest way to create change. And you need to feel the motivation to do it. And you need to feel the confidence to do it, to carry out the things, to make the changes happen, to get the body in the state that you want it to be in. And energy work, manifestation, working in the quantum, working with the energy and shifting it there is the answer. Because as we see with manifestation, when we go back to the root, we go back to the energy, we set the intention, we work through the limiting beliefs. We allow the energy to guide us. We trust in the process. We trust in our ability to be guided towards the most appropriate outcomes. What we gain is the motivation, the energy that we didn't think we had to do it comes from somewhere. The solutions that we need, and it may even just be that you need a support buddy, maybe that you need a group, and that's the thing that's really going to change everything. But there's so many possibilities to what the solutions could be. You could spend a lifetime trying to work it out, or you can do the energy work, do the manifestation, and allow it to show up for you. And your body is no different to the manifestation processes that you follow for manifesting the house and the car and all the material things that you desire. It's no different. And the energy work and overcoming the limiting beliefs, this is where you are able to overcome that victim mindset. And when I say victim mindset, there's no shame or judgment in that. We all have a victim. The victim is the one that says, no, you can't do it. It's not possible. You will never do it. You will never achieve what you want to achieve. The reality is that's not true. And actually, there are things that are happening that nobody thought possible all the time. And so, yes, you can do it and it is possible. But if you allow the victim to control your life, then no, you can't, because it will always tell you that you can't and you will believe that. So, overcoming the victim, overcoming the limiting beliefs that the victim holds on to and reminds you of every step of the way, what that leads to are very subtle changes even. Where, there's some drink that's highly nutritious that is going to be really good for you, but, I just can't stand the taste. No, I can't drink it. I can't stand the taste. It's a difference between you being able to overcome that and actually drink the drink and it being very beneficial to you and that creating a massive change within your body that leads to other great things like more energy, more motivation to do exercise or go out somewhere or whatever it is. It's the subtle changes like that have a knock-on effect on everything, that are very aligned with the perfect solution that's perfect for you in this moment and who you are in this time and who you want to be. So I'm focusing on the body because my guides, I'm a channel. I channel extraterrestrial energy. No, extra-dimensional intelligence. Okay, so I've seen incredible things happen. I've seen incredible changes happen in my life, in other people's lives, simply through channeling this energy through my body and communicating words. All I do is say words and people shift into alignment. And I'm like, how is that possible? that the whole situation just resolved itself overnight. And all I did was speak words from this higher intelligence. But that's how we're all supposed to function, right? That's the gift that we all have. We just don't know how to access it. And when it comes to things that limit people from living the lives that they're supposed to live, living the lives where they feel fulfilled and they feel empowered to create the changes in their life that they want to see, or to explore the themes they want to explore, or to have the relationships they want, to live in the playground of life, the playground of identity, trying out different identities, trying out different clothes, testing what is really authentic to them. One of the great things that stops people from being themselves is this idea and the shame that comes from not having the body, not having a body which has the weight that I want, not being the right weight, whatever that is. And quite honestly, I don't care what weight you are. I don't care what weight people are. I want to see happy, shining people. I want to see people empowered. I want to see people who get out of bed in the morning and think, God, I love myself so much today. That's what I want. And weight has become such a barrier for people in their lives, and not having the body. And it's not about having the body. It's about loving the body, and the body being in the right state for you to do the things you want to do in life. It's the vehicle that gets you around everywhere, that helps you to do things. It should not limit you in any way, and you should be able to work with it in a way that it carries you into the things that you want. And maybe sometimes you face challenges and you have to push it a bit harder to get it over a hurdle, but it should not block you and limit you from living your life ever. That's not the design of the ultimate creator. They did not design a body that you're supposed to wake up and feel ashamed of yourself every day. And it's not about fitting into a norm. It's precisely the opposite of that, in fact. It's about becoming exactly who you are supposed to be, exactly who you want to be, the role that you want to play in this game of life. Whether you show up as somebody who's very flamboyant, and you have a very expressive way of dressing, and right now you feel too scared to do that, or whether you just want to feel comfortable in your clothes, or whether you want to be able to enjoy swimming with your children and you feel so insecure about it that it gets in the way. All of those things is not the design of human nature to live in that energy. And so you may think, well, what would extraterrestrials care about our weight and the weight struggles of the masses? Surely all they care about is like technology and kind of, who even knows, like experimenting on people. No, they care about our wellness. They want humanity to be well, because they know when we are well, we take care of the earth too, and they really care about earth. They know that when we take care of the earth takes care of us, and we can be well. And there's this kind of exchange that happens that's the way it's meant to be. That was the design. And we've fallen from the design, and it's okay. It's okay, because we can bring it back again. But, part of their agenda, if you could say that they have an agenda, is for us to really be in a state of unconditional love for ourselves. And one of the things that really impacts so many people is this feeling that their body is not good enough for their spirit. And your body is not, to them it's absurd, because your body is not in your spirit is not in your body. Your body is made from your spirit. Your soul creates and crystallizes into a kind of compounded energy force that creates a sense of matter. And that's, your body experience. And there's all this other information that's there, which is your soul, which is all the lives you've ever lived, all the people you've ever been, all the bodies you've ever had, or will have, all the things that it has done for you, the amazing biological technology that it has. And yet we have so many people who are focused on, oh my God, I'm not good enough because my body doesn't look right. I don't fit in because my body doesn't look right. I can't love myself because my body doesn't look right. And here's the thing, when you don't love your body, it reflects that to you. It has no choice but to reflect that to you. I am a reflection of how much you hate me. I'm a reflection of how much you hate yourself. And I will keep being that until you love yourself. And when you love yourself, I will be a reflection of how much you love yourself. And I will be healthy, and I will be well, and I will be able to do things that you never thought were possible. And I will I will represent physically everything you want me to represent. And you will look at me and you will fall in love every day with yourself. And that's the nature of the energy that is not communicated in the wellness, nutritional kind of world, really, when people are talking about calories in and calories out. It's such a basic level of understanding of how we actually work. Yes, that is a tiny portion of it if you choose to align with that reality, yes. But there's a much bigger picture behind all of it. And the solutions that you need will be dependent on you finding your perfect resonance in your authenticity. And you may not even have to change anything about your physical reality, about the food you eat, or your hormones or anything like that. You may not even need to. You may just become so aligned with such a high vibration that the weight just drops off. That's another thing that happens. When I began channeling and I began regularly stepping into this really high vibration, the weight just drops off. And I'm like, where is it going? What did I do? I've been trying to lose weight for years. Now it's just falling off and I'm not even trying to do anything. No, I'm just coming into alignment. I'm coming into a much higher vibration and my body is reflecting that. It's becoming lighter. And that is the basis for how this works. And when you look at all those, you look at the yoga mamas and you think, how is it they're all so thin? They must eat like a piece of fruit a day. Some of them do, and that's all they need because they embody their energy in such a way. They're so aligned that their body is reflecting how aligned they are, how light they are, and how little actual physical sustenance they need to get them through a day because they're receiving all of their energy from source. It's coming through them. And not everybody has the same blueprint. You will see people of all shapes and sizes who are great at yoga and get great benefits from it. And for some people, that's just their blueprint. And for some people, their message in the world is to say, hey, I can be like this and be in unconditional love for myself. And I'm a representation of that for everybody who also looks like me. So everything has divine purpose, but life is a playground of identity. And you are here to explore different identities and to explore different versions of yourself. And your body is an aspect of that. And you can manifest a body that is more aligned with the identity that you would like to become. Thank you for tuning in to Transformation Embodied. If today's message spoke to you, share it with somebody who's ready to step into their own transformation. For more channeled guidance, resources, and ways to work with me, visit transformation-embodied.com. Until next time, keep listening to your higher self, keep embodying your light, and remember, your transformation is already unfolding.